know the number one reason that you don't want to chase any man?
Enjoy being single.
Ladies in their 50s are mad at me, and we're going to squash that. You know why they're mad at me? Because I said that after you are 50, I give you permission to chase a man.
It's too late for that.
The question is, why is she still single?
Well, I can't wait to hear this.
I was raised to never be financially dependent on a man. So my entire life.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
Why do so many women today say they don't need a man?
These women are single because their ego will not allow them to approach a man. Apparently it's a feminine energy thing they got going on. They call it low energy ick. Basically, if a woman chases a man, she's not really a woman. Even ladies in their 50s are doing it, and as a result, they will remain single forever.
And also, when you when you show a guy that you have like interest in him, it just boosts his ego. Like his ego just goes up in flames, and it's like you're not even talking to the same person or even really talking to him anymore because it's just all he thinks about. So, at least from my experience, and I've dated like 17 guys, so.
Well, that's a lot of experience you've acquired. But I disagree. It doesn't boost his ego. That man is probably happy because he hasn't had a woman approach him in years. Most men are invisible to women anyways.
If you chase him, you will lose him. Never chase a man, because if you chase him, you will lose him. Why? Because humans have an integrated warning system that gets triggered when someone is desperate. Our brains see desperation as danger. Our brains have basically been wired for thousands of years, even from way back when we lived in caves, to think that desperation usually means a lack of food or a lack of safety. But in modern times, most people have access to food and safety. That's why in modern times, most people think desperation means something even worse. Mental instability. That's why our brains see desperation as danger.
Now, this goes for a man also. If he feels like a woman is way too desperate, it becomes a turn-off. It's no longer attractive.
Ribcage or whatever I did to it, but this time it was stressed out like a minion, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it.
One reason why women won't approach men in public. I've been a believer of this for quite some time, but Tinder actually released a study that helps verify this mentality that a lot of women have. So the study that Tinder released is about 60% of users are men, and those men swipe right, they say yes to about 50% of profiles. Whereas women, who only make up about 40% of users, only swipe right to 15% of profiles. And this mentality translates. So a lot of women feel like if they approach a man, he'll just say yes without any real intention behind it. Women feel like they have to emotionally vet a partner before they're with that partner. So women don't approach men because they recognize that men are most likely to say yes, even without any intention behind it. But if you don't shoot your shot, you'll never know. And there's a very high chance that she's not going to approach you because of these statistics.
Well, shooting your shot goes both ways. And it's not every man who will automatically say yes. Some men actually have self-respect. I'm pretty sure it's common sense. But if someone says yes to dating you too quickly, you should take that as a sign of red flag. That person might be too desperate for a relationship.
Are single women with no kids who are college educated.
Yeah.
And they are having trouble finding mates because they're like, I'm at this level.
Yes.
And I'm looking for someone to elevate me, and I'm not finding a lot of candidates that are going to meet me or improve me. And I think that is what a lot of people are missing.
I think that's an excuse, though. There are educated women out there who can find good men, but the real question is, what they're not going to tell you is how many successful men that are on their level or above their level that they passed off for silly reasons.
That's true.
See, that's something they're not going to tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's what we don't know. We
They're
just
not gonna
hear,
get to the
I can't
nitty-gritty.
find nobody, I can't find nobody.
But
no,
what did you
can
do
find
to
them.
run him off? Like,
yeah,
that's the question.
but you're not gonna hear but you're not gonna hear how many of those good successful dudes did you turn down? How many did you not give your time to?
That woman is correct. These women have men hitting them up all the time, but they don't see them. And they do be leaving relationships so quickly for the most stupidest reasons. And one of them is because they have money. They feel like they don't need you. Work on yourselves, fellas. It will pay off at the end.
If you look good, you should not be approaching men.
What the hell are you talking about?
If you approach them, they had to have approached you first. If you accidentally bump into them and they use that opportunity to approach you, if you accidentally drop something and they use that opportunity to make conversation with you, then great. But you don't approach a grown man first unless you are a Pygmeisha, Barbara the Builder, or a masculine woman. Okay? Because that's all that they're going to see you as.
Not true. That's not true.
They're going to say, oh, she likes to start stuff. She likes to be the initiator. She likes to be the masculine. So you don't approach. Somebody said, drop your keys. Allow them to approach you. You can give them a reason to approach you, but you do not say anything.
Now, I don't know what this woman is smoking on, but she's really out here giving bad advice to women. There is nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man. I bet if it was a makeup brush, they would have approached and made a purchase.
That is true.
If you see someone you find interesting, what's wrong with talking to him? Being a man or a woman got nothing to do with it.
Because they'll say, like, I don't need a man, and then but I want a man. And so I'll say, okay, what type of guy would you want? And a lot of times they'll start with saying, oh, I don't want to get married. And then when they describe the guy that they want, I say, okay, so if that guy was interested in marrying you, would you want to get married? And they say yes. And so like the problem is the guys they want just don't want to marry them.
That is absolutely correct. The guy that they want does not want to marry them. The other thing is, some of these women don't know what they want, even if it's given to them already. The guy who would treat them properly could be beside them, but they will go look elsewhere, and then later on come to regret it, trying to find a nice guy.
The question is, why is she still single? Tons of men in her DM, but still single. Well, I got an answer for you. Let's get into it. I think social media gives us a false sense of option. There may be men interested. What are they actually interested in? So yes, her DMs are full of men. How many of those men actually desire commitment? And of those men who actually desire commitment are men she would want to be committed to? That is the question. Unfortunately, ideally, most of the men that they would want to be with are not really looking for a real commitment. Or they want a non-traditional relationship where you in a relationship and they not. Or an understanding, maybe a situationship or just a wham bam thank you ma'am. Nothing serious. So yes, social media is cool, but it makes people think they have way more options or higher value options than they actually do.
Now, wasn't that amazing? Basically, social media has made most of these women delusional. The 5s think they're a 10, and the 10 thinks she can get whatever man she wants. If that were the case, if those women could really get what they wanted, why don't they have it?
That's a great question.
It's simple, really. The answer is those women are delusional. They live in a fantasy world in their mind.
What's wrong with this generation today? These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
This is the new generation. This man is still living in the past. Women today are not the same as women. Back then, things have changed. This man needs to take his own advice. By the way, he's been in 5 marriages. That should tell you a lot about what he said. And I completely disagree.
Why do so many women today say they don't need a man?
Because we're independent as hell.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
What? Shit. He could learn two or three.
What the hell are you talking about?
What, one or two things from a woman.
Like what?
Love. Yeah. Love.
Okay. Do you think that men are incapable of love without a woman teaching them?
No.
Why do women think they're the ones who should define love and emotions?
Because we're more passionate, right? Yeah. We're more passionate.
Where's the evidence of that?
We birth. We birth.
Okay. All right.
The answer is nothing. Unless that man wants to build a family, that's when he would want a woman in his life.